Gabor Mate, Scattered Minds, Attention Deficit Disorder. The right orbitofrontal cortex, which for the sake of brevity we will call the OFC, has connections with virtually every other part of the cortex. It also has rich connections with the lower brain structures, where the body's internal physiological states are controlled and monitored, and where the most primitive and powerful emotions, such as fear and rage, are generated. It is at the center of the brain's reward and motivation apparatus and contains more of the reward chemicals associated with pleasure and joy, dopamine and endorphins, than almost any other area of the cortex. Via its connections with the vision centers of the cortex, the OFC plays a role in visual spatial orientation, the locating of objects in space. When visual spatial orientation is impaired, a person tends to bump his head a lot or run into people unseeingly and have difficulty following physical directions. All features of ADD I am intimately familiar with. The OFC has a major role in the control of attention. From all the information about the external environment and internal body states entering our brain, the OFC helps to pick out what to focus on. While the explicit meaning of words spoken is analyzed in the left hemisphere, the right OFC interprets the emotional content of communications, the other person's body language, eye movements, and tone of voice. It carries out a constant and instantaneous computation of the emotional significance of situations. It is deeply concerned with the assessment of relationships between the self and others. According to a number of studies, it is dominant for the processing, expression, and regulation of emotional information. The OFC also functions in impulse control, helping to inhibit the lower centers in the brain where urgent emotional drives originate. When it is working smoothly, it can delay emotional reactions long enough to allow mature, more sophisticated responses to emerge. When its connections are disrupted, it lacks this capacity. At such times, primitive, unprocessed emotions will flood our minds, overwhelm our thinking processes, and control our behavior.